Welcome back to the Middle-Aged Hack channel. I am Stuart and I am the Middle-Aged Hack. Just a child of the 80s looking to make his way through the 20s like all of us. Are you ready to get started? Let's go. I got my Tesla Model 3 in 2018 and I really liked it, and it was a great vehicle for 6 years. There were some things I didn't like about it, however. One thing I really didn't like was that the plastic they used for the glove box scratched really easily. I mean, it was just kind of ridiculous how scratched up it looked after just a few years. I didn't like that. And you couldn't, I mean, these were real scratches. These weren't just scuffs or something like that you could take out with some sort of cleaner. These were real, honest to gosh scratches. And they shouldn't have been, because this is not something I've ever seen with any other vehicle. So when I got my 24 Model 3, I was determined not to let that happen again. And it turns out I was not the only person with this problem. A little bit of looking, and I found a company called Test Bros that makes a paint protection film cover for the glove box. This is essentially a screen protector. That's what paint protection film is. It's basically a low-tack piece of plastic. If you're old enough to remember contact paper, it's kind of like that. And it covers up something usually used on the outside of your car. That's why they call it paint protection film. But put it on the glove box and it acts like a screen protector, stopping the thing from getting scratched. At least that's what I was hoping. I followed the video that Test Bros has on their website. And in this video, which you can see, they don't do any sort of prep other than cleaning the glove box cover. Paint protection film usually goes on with some sort of solution, but they don't show that in their video. I put it on just the way that their video said, and immediately it started to fall off. It just didn't stick. I think part of this is the fact that the glove box itself is textured and paint protection film is designed for smooth stuff. So I wrote to the people at Test Bros and they were great. I should stop and say, by the way, this is not a sponsored video. The folks at Test Bros didn't pay for this. They don't even know I'm making this video. And when I contacted them and told them exactly what had happened, they sent me another whole kit at no charge. And instead of following their instructions, I decided to use what I knew of paint protection film and put it on my way. And I decided to record the entire thing just in case it actually worked, and that way I could make a video about it. Luckily it did. Spoiler alert. The bag from Test Bros will have everything you need. It may or may not have the slip solution in a little bottle. If it doesn't, that's okay. I'll teach you what to do after that. You will need a lint-free rag and some sort of interior cleaner. You'll want to have some Q-tips, a little syringe like you would use to give an animal medicine, and some empty spray bottles. You'll want any sort of isopropyl alcohol, plus dish soap and a cup if you didn't get the slip solution. If you got slip solution, just empty it into the supplied little bottle. That's all you have to do. Fill the rest of the bottle either with distilled water or very clean filtered water. It's up to you. Shake it gently to make it suds up. Now you're going to mix up your alcohol solution. I had one of these little bottles and I did it in that. It doesn't matter how you do it, but what you want to do is no more than 1 part alcohol to 5 parts distilled water or very clean water. You can use measuring cups for this sort of thing. Really doesn't matter how you do it, but just make sure that it's no more than 1 to 5. If it's less, that's okay. Now, if you didn't get slip solution, just start with about 32 ounces of distilled water or very clean water and about 20 cc's of dish soap. You really don't need more than just a drop or two. If you don't have one of these little dropper syringe things, you can do it by eye. Just make sure you're talking about really only about a drop, 2 drops at most into 32 ounces of water. Once you put it in there, just swirl it around with your finger to mix it up. Do not really shake it because you don't want it to suds up too much. You're going to put this in a spray bottle or whatever you've got, something that's going to allow you to apply it to the paint protection film. Now you're going to want to clean the glove box thoroughly. Use a good interior cleaner that's designed for this sort of task. Wipe it down and make sure that it gets nice and dry. Now in the sunshine where I live, that isn't a problem. It took about 15 seconds. Now the next thing that I wanted to do was make sure my alcohol solution was not going to damage the glove box. So I sprayed a little bit onto a Q-tip and I tried it just in the corner of glove box. Didn't have any effect. It looks like I'm going to be able to use this alcohol solution on this glove box with no damage. Now you're ready for the actual installation. Peel the paint protection film from its backing. It's going to be a little difficult to do, but that's okay. But peel it all the way and lay it down with the tacky side up. Obviously, you do not want to put the tacky side down and get it all dirty. Now take your slip solution, either the stuff that they sent you or the homemade stuff you made with soap and water, and spray it liberally on the tacky side of the paint protection film. You can get it nice and wet if you want to. No problem there. Now what I do is then spray the glove box with just a little bit more slip solution. Remember, this is only soap and water. It is not going to hurt anything. Once you've got it there, just place the paint protection film as best you can. It's going to be a little hard to get it to stick. Once it's on there a little bit, remember you can reposition it easily. Just make sure you can get it as close as you can and start squeegeeing those wrinkles out. You can lift it, you can put it back down as you want, and you can slide it a little bit as long as you've got it nice and wet. If it's not sliding, don't be afraid to apply a little bit more slip solution. That's what it's there for. Keep working it and you're going to get all those wrinkles out. It's going to begin to look really, really good. And once you've got all the wrinkles and air bubbles out, then it's time to use your alcohol solution. Chances are it's going to lift almost immediately as soon as you put it on. And that's what the alcohol solution is for. Spray the alcohol solution along the corners and edges as needed. Don't use a lot because all it's going to do is make the glue tackier, and that's going to make it harder for you to get it off. However, just spray as much as you need and then use a squeegee to work it all out. If there's lifting across the top, like you can see here, you're probably going to want to open the glove box and kind of spray a little bit of alcohol solution along the edges. This is going to let you roll them down. Remember, be just gentle. Only use the amount of alcohol solution that you need, because the more you spray, the tackier the glue is going to get, which means if you're trying to take it off later, that you're going to have a harder time at it. Keep working it, keep pushing those air bubbles out, and keep using the alcohol solution just as much as you need to get the thing to stick. Always squeegee kind of out toward the edges. That's going to keep all the air bubbles from forming and staying in the middle. You're going to need to go back after 24 hours and take a look to see how well the film is sticking. If it started to lift at all, which mine did not, if it started to lift at all, then just use a little tiny bit of alcohol in that spray bottle to make sure you can tack it back down. Give it another day or so to see if it actually works. Meanwhile, like and subscribe. I am trying to build this channel up so it reaches 1,000 subscribers as fast as possible, and I can only do that with your help. Whenever you like, whenever you subscribe, it sends a message to Google that there's something to see at this channel, and it starts suggesting these videos to not only to you, but to other people, and that helps the whole thing grow. That's kind of the whole meaning of social networking, at least the way that it's supposed to work. That's about it for this video. I will see you next time on The Middle-Aged Hack.